Hi everybody, this is going to be the tutorial that's going to show you how to make the Starfish pocket shawl. And for this project, you're going to need a 5mm hook or a size H hook for the US. Also, I used 5 skeins of worsted weight yarn. Each skein was 100 grams or 3.5 an ounce, or in length 240 meters or 262 yards. Each skein that I used, and I used 5 of them. So you're going to need that, and also a tapestry needle because you're going to need to sew the pocket on. The measurement of this wide is 7 inches and the length was 27 inches. Now I made this for my daughter, so this is why it's not as big. But if you take this first I guess cable and everything after it until you reach the next cable. So the stitch right before this next cable is the repeat. So feel free to make it as wide as you want. This is done in rows, so it's very adjustable in size and length. So you can, once you got it as wide as you want, then you can just keep crocheting it until you reach the length that you need. I recommend making it a little longer than you need so that you have some extra bit at the end to have some room to sew on your pockets. I didn't like the look of having it like right on the end. Also, somebody said something pretty cool inside a Facebook group that I thought was interesting. They mentioned sewing the pockets on the inside so that your hands can stay warm and you can keep the outside, the beauty of it, on the outside, and your hands stay warm on the inside. So that's an idea if you'd like to use that. So go ahead and grab your 5mm hook and we'll get started. Okay, so to begin, you want to make a chain of 66. And once you have your chain of 66, again, if you want to make it wider, you can, but I'm just doing the tutorial on the actual size that I have. So I have 66 chains, and once you have that, you want to half double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. Then you want to go and put 1 half double crochet in each stitch down your chain. The beginning chain 2 will count as a stitch this row, and at the end of this row you should have 65 stitches total, including this chain 2 at the beginning. So keep continuing to do your half double crochets, and I'll see you when you get done. Some of you may be surprised that you see a tutorial come out from me because I was taking a break from doing tutorials there for a while. But I've been updating a lot of my patterns, and this included, I updated a lot of, I actually updated all the pictures for the tutorial on the PDF. If you want to check that out. Rewrote everything, tried to make it clearer for everyone. I know that this stitch is new, so it's not easy for everyone to learn. So if you haven't picked up the PDF, or if you already picked up the PDF from either of my shops, then go ahead and take a look because you have an updated version of the pattern. Okay, so for row 1, I'm sorry, this is row 2. The chain 2 will not count as a stitch, this beginning chain 2 that you do. You'll always begin with the chain 2 at the beginning of every row. You want to start with the very first stitch of the row. So you'll be putting 5 half double crochets in a row. So these first 5 stitches should be half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you want to, I got a few tips here. One, before we make our first back post double crochet, because of the chain that we're skipping, it can be difficult for you to find the correct post over. So I recommend counting, starting from the very first post here, and count over to the 6th one, because you want to skip the first 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 6th post over, go ahead, yarn over, and grab this post, actually from the back, because this is a back post, this first one. So you're going to grab the post like that from behind and do your back post double crochet like that. Also, I found a common mistake because back post is not as easy to see. Like if you do a front post like this, you can clearly see that that stitch is taken and you can move on to the next. But when it's a back post, you don't always notice that this next open stitch here is part of that back post. So you want to make sure that you skip that back post and move on to the next to start your next stitch. You want to put the next 2 stitches here, you want to put half double crochets. So you'll have 5 half double crochets, back post double crochet, and then 2 half double crochets on the other side. So now you're ready to start your shell portion of this. So once you have your 2 half double crochets on this side of the back post double crochet, you want to put a single crochet in the next stitch. Then you're going to skip 2 stitches, and then the 3rd stitch over, you want to put 5 double crochets all worked into that same stitch. It's 3, 4, and 5. Then you, on this side, you want to skip the next 2 stitches and then single crochet in the 3rd stitch over. So you should have 2 skip stitches before and after your 5 double crochets. Now again, you want to skip the next 2 stitches, and then the 3rd one over, you want to put 5 double crochets in that one stitch. It's 3, 4, and 5. And then you want to skip the next 2 stitches again and put a single crochet. Now that we have our 2 shells done, we're going to be making our in-between part, which is going to be 2 half double crochets. So in the very next stitch after your single crochet, put a half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then your next post, and this again can be difficult. You want to look underneath to count your post for your rows. Make sure you're getting the right one, which for me would be this one. And you want to put your back post worked on the post of the next stitch. And then the following 2 stitches after that will be half double crochets. And then we're starting our shell part again. So the very next stitch again will be a single crochet. And then you'll skip 2 stitches, and in the 3rd stitch over, you'll put 5 double crochets. 3, 4, and 5. Again, skip the next 2 stitches. 3rd one over, you'll anchor that shell down by putting a single crochet in that stitch. Then again, you'll skip the next 2 stitches, and in the 3rd stitch over, you'll put 5 double crochets. Sorry if you can hear that gardener outside. Seems like I'm forever apologizing for these gardeners when I film a tutorial. Okay, so after your 5 double crochets, you'll skip the next 2 stitches, and then in the 3rd one over, you'll put a single crochet to anchor that one down. Now that's just the repeat I took you through just now with those 2. And now we're going to do our middle section again here. So without skipping a stitch, these next 2 stitches should both be a half double crochet. So 1 half double crochet, and then the next stitch put another half double crochet. Now we're ready to do our back post double crochet. And then the following 2 stitches, remember, make sure that you skip this stitch that's part of the back post here and move to the next. You'll put 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then this is the repeat. So now in the very next stitch, you'll put your single crochet, you'll skip 2, you'll put your shell, and you'll do the same thing again. Skip 2, single crochet, skip 2, shell, skip 2, and then come back and I will show you how to end the row. Okay, so I just did my 2 shells, and now I have the end of the row here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches here on the end. Again, without skipping a stitch, you want to put those 2 half double crochets. So the next 2 stitches will be half double crochet, and then you want to do that back post double crochet, and then these last 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and the chain stitch also is used just for this row. This after this, the chain 2 stitch will not be used for rows 3 and on. So you'll be using this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th one is the top of the chain 2. So these 5 stitches, you'll be putting a half double crochet in. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your 5th is in the top of the chain 2, and that will end, that's row 2. So let me scroll down here, row 3. Okay, again, as always, you'll chain 2 and turn. Chain 2 does not count as the first stitch of the row, so again, you're going to find that very first actual half double crochet here. And remember, you're always going to start with 5 half double crochets at the beginning and at the end of your row. By the way, this is what it looks like after your second row. So you'll always have 5 on the end and 5 at the beginning, and you'll always chain 2 at the beginning. So those first 5 stitches, put a half double crochet. 3, 4, and 5. Now your back post, and you'll notice in the pattern too, I refer to this as the front post double crochet because it's facing you. So you want to put a front post double crochet in the front post double crochet. So you'll grab up that post and do a double crochet on it. Your next 2 stitches are going to be half double crochets, which will bring you back up to your single crochet here. So put a single crochet in that single crochet, and now we're going to be working our starfish stitch, which is using our 5 double crochets, and you'll be alternating with front post, back post, front post, back post, front post double crochets. So we're going to grab up the post of the very first of our 5 double crochets, and we're going to be putting a front post on there. Then yarn over, grab from behind, push that post back, and work a back post double crochet. And then you'll do a front post double crochet on the middle one here, and then the next one will be a back post double crochet, and then the very last double crochet of our shell will be a front post double crochet. And then always remember, anchor that down, put a single crochet. There'll always be a single crochet before and after your shells. So we'll do that again for our next shell. We're going to grab up that first post and work a front post double crochet. Next, back post double crochet, then the middle one be a front post double crochet, followed by a back post double crochet, the last one front post double crochet, and then we're going to single crochet in our single crochet. And that's what it looks like. Now this is our place in between here, which is going to be 2 half double crochets, front post double crochet on the front post double crochet, and then 2 half double crochets on the other side of it. So let's first put our 2 half double crochets, 1 half double crochet worked in the next 2 stitches, and then grab up the post of our front post double crochet here. We're going to continue that to put a front post double crochet. Next row I'll be referring to these as back posts because they're going to be on the back side. So the next 2 stitches will be half double crochets. Then it'll bring us back up to our single crochet, where we're going to do the same thing for our shells again. First one will be a front post double crochet, then a back post double crochet, front post double crochet, back post double crochet, then front post double crochet, and then we'll anchor that down by putting a single crochet in the single crochet. Then work your next shell the same way, front post, back post, front post, back post, the last one, front post, and then put a single crochet in your single crochet. And again, it brings us back up to the middle section here, which is going to be 1 half double crochet worked in the next 2 stitches, then front post worked on the front post, and then the next 2 will be half double crochets. Bring us back up to our last set of shells here. Next stitch is the single crochet, and then you'll start working your shell. Remember, there's a single crochet here and on the other side of the shell as well. So go ahead and continue to do that, and I'll come back to show you how to do the end of the row. Okay, I just did my last front post on my shell here, and I'm going to do my single crochet, which brings me to the ending section here. After your shell before the cable, you'll always have 2 half double crochets here, so I'm going to put my 1 and 2 half double crochets there, and then you'll work your front post on your front post, and then again the last 5 stitches of your row will be half double crochets. Again, you guys, I'm updating a lot of my patterns and PDFs and stuff, and it doesn't always show up. It isn't something new, so it doesn't really show up as I released anything new, though I'm still working and I'm still updating. So I recommend, if you haven't yet, to go ahead and sign up for my newsletter, because that is always going to be the newest things that come from me. So after you finish with row 3, and get down here to row 4, again you're going to chain 2, and the repeat is basically the last row, and then rows 3, which is the one we just did, and this is what it looks like, by the way. So the repeat is going to be rows 3 and 4, which is the one I'm about to show you now. So for row 4, again, you'll chain 2 and turn, and then the first 5 stitches will be half double crochets, 3, 4, and 5, and the next one will be a back post this time around. Back post double crochet worked on the back post double crochet, and then the next 2 stitches will be half double crochets, and then that'll bring us to our single crochet here, which is before the shells. Now we want to work in the center one, which from here you can see this is the front, this is the first, this is the middle, and then that's the last. Remember, we're doing 5, so the sunken in ones are also a stitch too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And from here, those 2 back post ones now are on either side of our center stitch. So it's easy to find the center stitch because it's the stitch that's basically, you know, being arrowed, like, hello, it's right here. So right here in the middle, easy to find. You'll want to put your 5 double crochets there in that middle double crochet, or the middle front post, if you want to think of it that way. So 5 double crochets into that middle stitch, and that's how you'll start to create your shells that you'll continue. Again, you're going to be skipping these next 2 double crochets because we're only going to be working with that middle double crochet. Skip the next 2 and find that single crochet here that's in the middle, and you'll put that single crochet to anchor down your shell. Then you'll do it again, skip those first 2 double crochets, find that center, and put 5 double crochets into that stitch. So that's 3, 4, and 5. So you'll skip these next two and find that single crochet to put your single crochet in. So now that brings us to our little middle and between section here, which is always going to be 2 half double crochets, either a front post or back post double crochet, and then 2 half double crochets. This time it's a back post. So we'll be doing a half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Maybe if my yarn will let me. And then you'll put a back post double crochet, worked on the back post double crochet. Then remember, skip that middle stitch here, that's for the double crochet, and in the next 2 stitches put your half double crochet in there, and then your next stitch will be the single crochet before your shells. And again, you'll work 5 double crochets in that middle double crochet, or it's a back post, this row, that middle back post double crochet. So that's 4, 5, and then single crochet in that single crochet. Then again, move over to that middle stitch and you'll put 5 double crochets in there again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then you'll put your single crochet in the single crochet. Then again, we're in the section in between again, so the next 2 stitches will be a half double crochet. Then you'll do your back post double crochet and your back post double crochet, and then the next 2 stitches will be half double crochet, half double crochet, and then your single crochet worked in your single crochet. And then go ahead and finish. Remember, 5 double crochets here, single crochet in between, 5 double crochets here, single crochet after. Okay, so we'll put our single crochet after that shell, and now we'll put 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Then we'll do our back post double crochet on our back post double crochet, and then again these last 5 stitches will be half double crochet. And remember, the chain 2 does not count as a stitch anymore. It's just a beginning point. So you'll chain 2 and you'll turn, and then you'll continue. Sorry, didn't mean to hit that. And you'll continue your pattern here. Again, you'll be starting with it's a repeat now of row 3, so you can back up the video and you'll have your 5 half double crochets. Now it'll be a front post double crochet, 2 half double crochets, and a single crochet here. Then you'll work your front post and back post double crochets on your shells. Don't forget you have a single crochet in between and after, and you'll just continue that over and over again. Okay, now I want to show you how to end your shawl. Like, you want to repeat those rows. I went ahead and backed up so I could be on a row after you've completed the starfish stitch, because remember, there's the shell. Well, I guess you can call it a shell. The 5 double crochets that go on top of it. So you want to make sure that you're not on 5 double crochets. You want to make sure you've completed it, and it looks like this before you end your last row. So you'll repeat rows 3 and 4 until you've reached your desired size, length. And then when you're ready to end your shawl, you'll chain 2 and turn. And then you're going to be putting, just like always, your 5 half double crochets in these first 5 half double crochets. And then you'll put your back post double crochet as normal. And then you'll put your 2 half double crochets. So all that's going to be the same. Then you will single crochet in your single crochet. That's the same. And then you'll chain 2. Okay, so this is where it starts to change. So you'll skip 2, and instead of putting your 5 double crochets here, you're going to put a single crochet there, then you'll chain 2 again, and then you'll single crochet in your single crochet that's here in between, and then you'll repeat that. You'll chain 2, find the center to single crochet in, you'll chain 2, and then again single crochet in the single crochet. You're kind of flattening out that area. And then the middle part is the same. So this middle part will be worked exactly like you would if you were doing another row. So the next 2 stitches will be half double crochets. You'll put a back post double crochet on your back post double crochet, and then the next 2 stitches will be half double crochets, and then your single crochet. And then this is when you'll chain 2, find that middle double crochet to single crochet in, and then you'll chain 2 and single crochet in your single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in that middle double crochet, and then chain 2 and single crochet in the single crochet, and then you'll do your middle section the same. So 2 half double crochets, a back post double crochet, 2 more half double crochets, and then a single crochet. Then again chain 2, single crochet in the middle, chain 2, single crochet in the single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the middle, chain 2, single crochet in the single crochet, and then the end here will be the same as before. So you'll have 2 half double crochets in a row, then you'll do your back post double crochet, and then your last 5 stitches will be half double crochets. 3, 4, and 5. Now I believe, no, it says chain 2. Oh right, because you're always doing the half double crochet. So this will be the last row. The last, when you're ready to end your shawl like this, it'll be 2 rows of ending. So that was the first row of ending, and then this will be the last row of ending. It's just the last row. So again, you'll be doing your chain 2 and turn and putting your half double crochets. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. You'll put your front post double crochet, and then after your 2 half double crochets as usual, and then you'll put your single crochet in your single crochet, and then now on the chain 2 spaces that we have, you'll be putting 2 single crochets worked on that chain 2. So in that space you'll put 1 and 2 single crochets. You'll single crochet in your single crochet, and then it'll bring you back up to your chain 2 space again, where you'll put 2 more single crochets. Single crochet in your single crochet, and then 2 single crochets in the chain 2, single crochet in your single crochet, and then single crochet twice in the chain 2 space. And then you'll do your little middle sections here like always. So this first one is a single crochet, and then this middle now is 2 half double crochets, that front post, and then your 2 half double crochets to create that middle separation area, which will bring you back up to your single crochet on this side. And then again you'll be putting 2 single crochets in this chain 2 space, single crochet in your single crochets, and you'll just continue your whole row like this and all the way to the end, and that will finish your shawl. You'll want to chain 1, cut your yarn long enough to where you can, thread it to a tapestry needle and hide it. You don't want to have any loose ends around. So go ahead and finish that, and I'm going to go ahead and rip this out because I'm going to use this yarn again, and I'm going to show you how to make the pocket. I want to jump on here real quick and tell you sorry for this next section of the video. I forgot to put my mic back on. You can still hear me, but it's not like the most awesome quality. I'm going to try to do what I can in editing, but I hope you can still hear and everything. So sorry, I'm out of whack on doing my tutorials. I'll get back in the groove again. So sorry about that, and enjoy. Okay, for each pocket, you'll want to chain 25, and then you're going to half double crochet in the third chain from the hook. So count 1, 2, 3, and in this third chain, you'll put a half double crochet. Now you want to put a half double crochet in all the stitches of your pocket. Should be 23 stitches. At least that's what this says. I'm trusting my pattern. So you should have 23. The chain 2 does not count as a stitch. Beginning chain 2. So you should, at the end of this row, have 23 stitches. Okay, I just counted my stitches. I have 23, not counting the chain 2 at the end. 23 half double crochets. So you'll want to chain 2 and turn. And for row 2, let me get a little closer. I feel like I'm a little far from you. So we're going to be going into the very first stitch here, and we're going to put a half double crochet. And we'll put a half double crochet in the next stitch as well. So there'll always be, like before with the shawl, there'll always be 2 half double crochets at the beginning and 2 half double crochets on the end. So the next stitch, and again you should count your post from the bottom, so 1, 2, 3, this third post over, you'll want to put a front post double crochet worked on the post of that stitch. Then you'll want to put a half double crochet in the next 8 half double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then your next stitch will be a half double crochet. So grab up the post of the next stitch, put a half double crochet. Now again, the next 8 stitches will be half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And again, the next one will be a front post double crochet, and then the next 2 stitches will be half double crochets. Remember, the ending chain 2 does not count as a stitch, so we're just going to skip that chain 2, and we'll chain 2 and turn. And again, you'll want to put half double crochets worked in the first 2 stitches. And now this time our front post is now a back post, so we want to stay consistent with that and put a back post double crochet there. And then again, just like we did here, before we reach our middle section, we'll have 8 half double crochets, then we'll have another back post worked on our back post, and then 8 half double crochets, then we'll do another back post, and then we'll have our 2 half double crochets on the end. And you'll keep repeating these 2 rows. You'll be alternating, obviously, between your front post and back post, depending on what row that you're on. Sorry for going blurry there for a second. So again, you'll have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 half double crochets, and then this time it'll be a back post double crochet, and then you'll be putting your 8 half double crochets on this side. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then you'll be doing your your back post double crochet for this one, and then you'll have your 2 little stitches on the end here that you'll put your half double crochet into. Again, you'll always chain 2 and turn, and then you'll just repeat those 2 rows over and over again. 2 half double crochets this next row, there'll be a front post, 8 half double crochets, front post, 8 half double crochets, front post, and then 2 half double crochets on the end. I want to show you here on the actual shawl. Going back and forth, it'll also create these little ridges that run down it's really cool. I really like that look. And I did this, I repeated those 2 rows, which on this I'm calling it making the pockets. So it has its own beginning row system. Row 1 is the row of half double crochet. So you'll be repeating rows 2 and 3 until you have a total of 20 rows. And you can easily count because, like I said, it has this like ridge that goes across. So that'll be like 1 row, and then the next one that's blank like this will be row 2, 3, 4, and you can count like that. And when you get to the end, sorry, I'm banging here. You should have 20. We just did a row where we had back post. So now we're on the front post section. So we would need to actually do 1 more row to be on that side, because it actually wants to be in this in this one right here. The very first one that you do should be a back post, and right now we're on a row where it's our front post. So I need to do this row to where after it'll be facing this way, and then it'll be a back post. So I'm going to go ahead and come back after I complete this row. Okay, so I just completed that row, and so that's 4 rows. Counting the half double crochet row at the beginning, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So continue on and do another 16 rows, and then you'll have it facing you like this, and you'll be ready to chain 2 and turn, having the back post sides facing you. And then we're ready to finish our pocket. So we're going to be doing, as always, our 2 half double crochets worked in these first 2 stitches, and then we're going to have a back post worked on our back post. And then now we're going to start alternating front and back post. So we just did a back post on our back post, so we're going to grab up the post of our next half double crochet, and we're going to put a front post on there, and then alternate it. So you'll do a back post, then a front post, and you want to do this, it says 7 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'll be 5, 6, and 7, which makes this one short of our middle. So we have 1 half double crochet here, then we have our back post, and then we'll have another stitch on the other side here. Those 3 stitches are going to be back post double crochet, back post double crochet on our back post double crochet, and then the next one will also be a back post double crochet. You can see here, bring out you can see here how they have 3 worked in a row like that. It's only in this middle area. So the next 3 stitches here will be back post double crochets. So I'm going to grab the post up this one, push it back. That's 1 back post. Then work a back post double crochet on your back post double crochet, and then the next one will be a back post double crochet. So we got our 3 back post double crochets in a row. Now we're going to alternate the next 7 stitches just like we did here, since we just did a back post double crochet. So the next one will be a front post double crochet, then a back post double crochet, front post double crochet, back post double crochet, then front post double crochet, back post. Just pretty much just do back front till you get to your back, because it's automatically going to be right in line. So just put a back post on your back post, and then the last 2 stitches will be half double crochets. And then you will do this 22, 23. So for the next 2 rows, you're going to be doing pretty much the same thing, except of course it's going to be alternating again. So you'll chain 2 and you'll turn. First 2 stitches will be half double crochets. And then now, since you've already got it kind of lined up for yourself, it's going to be easier to see. You'll put a front post double crochet on your front post double crochet. Then you'll be alternating, putting a back post double crochet in your back post double crochet, front post double crochet in your front post, and you'll just continue to go back and forth with this till you reach those 3 middle stitches. Okay, I've come up to my 3 middle ones, and those will all be front post. So you'll have 3 front post double crochets in a row. And then the next one will be back post. Then front. So keep alternating that all the way until you get to the end of your row. Where again it's going to be the 2 half double crochets worked in these last 2 stitches. So 1 and 2. And that'll be your second. Now your final row will be a repeat of the last one. So you'll chain 2. I should say the previous row. So you'll put half double crochet in the first 2 stitches, and then you'll have your back post double crochet, and then it's even easier now to just go with the flow. Put front post on front post, back post on back post, until you reach those middle ones again. Where you'll be putting your, see on this side, you can't really see those 3, but it's there. You'll grab up the post and do 3 back post. It's there in the center, and again you'll alternate front and back post. The last one will be a back post here and 2 half double crochets on the end, and then you will be done with your pocket. You'll just chain 1 and end. And then what I did when I was ready to sew on my 2 pockets, obviously you need to make 2 of these. Okay, so I tried to try to count 5 of these starfish stitches here on the end, and then I just put my pocket, like I'd count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I would just put my pocket there, and I would try to line up these cables here with the cables of the shawl. And then I got a marker, because you can use a marker to hold it to your shawl. I don't know if you know that, but you can say this is a marker here. You can go in through the pocket, then in through the shawl itself, and then you'll just put your marker there, and it'll hold those two pieces of material together. So you'll do that on this side. You do it on all four corners, making sure that your cables line up. And then I started from, I think I started from this side because I'm right-handed, and I just did slip stitches as evenly as I could all the way down, and then along the bottom, and then back up to this side, and then I chained one, cut my yarn, and then I left this part unsewn, obviously. Like I said, someone left a good tip that maybe putting the pocket on the inside would be nice, but I really liked this one because of the cables, and I liked that the cables lined up and everything. It was kind of the reason why I had it. I made the pocket the way I did. It's up to you. Just a thought, just to, mull around a bit. So that's what I did to sew in my pockets, and I did that for both sides. And I didn't put anything on the end. I just left them regular. But you can feel free if you want to add something on the end, you can. But that's it, you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please don't forget to like and share. It helps me out so much. Come visit me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Pinterest. I have a free pin board there. I share stuff on Facebook all the time from there. I also have a newsletter. If you want to, especially now since I'm not doing tutorials as much, though I do want to start getting back into that. I'm doing a lot of updating and what they call SEO on my page, trying to make Google find me a lot easier. And so that doesn't necessarily create new content. I mean, I am, but it's not like it's a new posting, so it doesn't really count. So you won't see it unless you go and go to my actual pages. The best way to find out what's coming out new for me is to just sign up to the newsletter, and you can find that link underneath this video, as well as the link to the free pattern and the updated PDF that has the updated tutorial pictures and everything. I really take you step by step with pictures now. So make sure that you pick up your new copy if you already bought your previous Starfish Stitch Pocket Shawl. So that's it, guys. Thank you so very much for watching.